Broadcasting live from the Business Radio X studios in Atlanta, Georgia, it's time for High Velocity Radio.
Lee Cantor here, another episode of High Velocity Radio, and this is going to be a good one. Today on the show, we have John Mecum. He is the Global Sales Coordinator with Cellairis. Welcome.
Oh, I'm so happy to be here. Thank you so much for having me, Lee.
Well, for folks who aren't familiar, tell us a little bit about Cellairis. How are you serving folks?
Absolutely. So Cellairis has been in the mobility space for 25 years now. We actually just celebrated our 25th anniversary. What started out in retail spaces as a repair-focused organization, specializing in anything repair-wise for mobile devices, has expanded to a variety of solutions related to mobility in a variety of verticals and industries that have really grown to serve us as partnerships that have allowed us to grow as an enterprise.
So we're here to talk about cyber system. Do you mind sharing a little bit of an overview of cyber system, what it is and how it helps folks?
Oh, absolutely. And really what the cyber system is a response to a huge problem that we're seeing across the entire country. It's evident in legislation. And you've seen over 30 states in the entire country start to enact these laws. And what we are trying to do is give an opportunity to schools, educators, and parents to have a solution that, meets their needs. What the cyber system is a all-around solution that is designed to reduce the distractions in classrooms that are caused by cell phones. Everyone knows that, kids have had exposure to these devices really since birth at this age. It's really one of the first generations where they've been exposed to that kind of stimulation really since, they're the time of an infant. And, with all of the great strides in education and information that can come with that exposure to technology, I think at some point you need to figure out a way to regulate it. And one place we are seeing the need for that regulation is in the classroom.
So, how is this happening I've heard a lot in the media about, trying to take the phones away from the kids, but is it done in a way like I've been to comedy shows and they'll kind of take your phone and give you a pouch and you put it in the pouch. And then at the end of the show, they unlock the pouch and give you your phone back. Is it done in a similar manner?
So one of the important differentiators that we provide as opposed to other solutions on the market. And you're totally right, is there's other solutions out there that will aim to restrict phone usage by method of locking the phone away. And one of our taglines with our solution is, we don't lock, we only block. And one of the great things about the cyber system and the cyber pouch specifically, which is really at the heart of the system, is the fact that our technology blocks all incoming and outgoing signals. So that means when a mobile device is secured within our cyber pouch, it's completely blocked from receiving any type of notifications, phone calls, everything from Instagram, text messages, what have you. And the great thing about that is, we have all of these other devices that are interconnected throughout our day, whether it be smartwatches, AirPods, what have you. And when a phone is inside of a cyber pouch, it is instantly disconnected from all of these other sources of connectivity, rendering them completely useless.
So that means like if you have a watch that's connected to your phone, you're not going to be getting kind of the notifications on the watch if the phone is being blocked?
Exactly. And that's one of the things that we're super proud of that I believe other solutions can't necessarily promote as much because they don't block any signal. All they're really doing is taking the phone away, which, to me at the heart, signals a underlying sense of mistrust between faculty and students will find ways around it. They will find ways to break the pouches open if they're under a lock. They're incredibly crafty, and a big part of our mission here is, as I said, not to lock the pouches away. So we actually have them secured in a Velcro, top that if necessary, can be opened. It provides that accessibility to the students. It is incredibly loud, so there is an audio indicator to the faculty and to the educator. So there's not really any way to quietly open the pouch and access the phone. But what we have done is provided a sense of accessibility that in the event there's some type of emergency, some type of uh, reason where a child would need to let their parent know that they're safe or just communicate with them. They have that opportunity. It's really a collaboration with the faculty as to, where the pouches are going to end up. Will they remain with the students? Will they go to a designated housing area, which we also have a solution for?
Now, are you seeing this as something that's a fad, or is this something that's going to kind of be the just norm moving forward?
Now, I think, for the first few years, there's definitely been, you know, more of a push towards phone-free environments, and I think it's been recognized by some as a pattern and a trend that will pick up steam. And what we've seen over the last year or so, and specifically in the last 6 months, is a just complete overhaul of legislation state by state that is addressing this problem through a mandate that districts are going to have to create a policy that either bans or restricts phone usage. And you've seen it happen in over 30 states already, and there are some that are swiftly following behind with their own bills in place. And what that's doing is forcing these districts to come up with a policy because they're giving them a timeline, but they're not necessarily explaining how to do it or any solutions that are available to them and resources. And what we want to do is help these educators do what they do best, teach with minimal extra steps, because what's happening is, superintendents, already have a lot of responsibility, and boards are giving these responsibilities to tech directors and people who already have their own jobs and things they have to take care of, and are given this deadline to solve an issue. And, they may only have so many options in front of them at a time. And what we want to do is just get the word out that our solution, we think is tip top because it's based on the feedback we've received to people who have been going through this problem for some time. There are a lot of states who have gotten ahead of this issue with their own policies, and maybe the state is just now starting to enact the legislation. We've seen recently in states like Texas, Florida, Georgia, have enacted their own cell phone restrictions that are, explaining to districts, hey, you have till this date to create a policy, and then don't really give them much else in terms of resources to do so. So we want to help unlock that for them, whether it be different solutions that are available to them, access to funding, whatever we can do to help promote these teachers have a distraction-free environment with minimal steps required.
Now, have they done research to see if this really does create that distraction-free environment that improves test scores and things like that? Has it been correlated to any improvement in outcomes?
Yeah, and I think there's a lot of studies out there that can speak to individual cases of districts who have seen these benefits, but I think over time you're really going to see a huge shift as we adjust from being such a technologically independent society, especially the young people, into finding that balance where we're promoting engagement and, not only focusing on the negative aspects of having these devices in our hands, but also the positive benefits that can come from it, whether it be mental health and well-being, better social engagement, things that aren't necessarily as quantifiable as test scores.
Now, you mentioned that I guess it starts at the state level. They put a law in that say that we want it to be a distraction-free environment. Is that how it starts? Like there's some sort of a state regulation put in place?
Yeah, so we've seen it happen in a couple different ways, but where a bill is signed is usually where we've seen the most movement happen, and usually it's because state funding starts to get involved. Whether it's a matter of getting access to it or losing it. We've also seen instances where, a governor may want to just address this issue and puts out an executive order. We've seen that happen in New York with Governor Hochul, and it just immediately gets the wheels turning, but it doesn't always give these districts the amount of time that they need to find a solution that works for them. Some districts are ahead of the curve with it, and they've found solutions that may work for them. Some districts, it's the Wild West out there, and they've been storing phones in Ziploc bags or the shoe holders that you put over doors. It's just the problem is you can't necessarily write a shoe holder into policy. And so what we want to do is not dictate a district's policy, but offer them a tool and a solution that they can use to enforce and enact their own.
But this requires them to kind of put funds towards the initiative, like, because can't they just say that you kids can't bring their phone to school?
Yeah, but there's going to be, in today's day and age, there's always going to be pushback. There's a demand for accessibility, and parents just cannot allow that, I think, in a lot of cases, and I think the point is that the children are being exposed to that type of stimulation. But how can we find a balance in, instead of finding ways to restrict, how can we find ways to promote the development of healthy mobile device habits?
So that's so there's a push, I guess, to allow them to have the phones, but not have access to the phones while teaching is taking place. Because is your solution one where they just drop the phone off in the morning and then pick it up in the afternoon, or is this something that they can have it in between classes? Like where does it begin and end?
So I think it really depends. And what's unique about this solution is, every classroom situation is going to act a little bit differently. They're all going to be nuanced in different ways. Children learn differently and classrooms operate differently. What we want to be is a tool that functions and fits into any kind of scenario. Maybe for some scenarios, the students are able to keep the pouch on their backpack or next to their desk for easy access. We've seen instances like that come up in high schools and different situations where there's a little bit more dependence and accessibility and trust involved in access to these devices. Now, in middle school, maybe there's a situation where students come into the class and they take their pouch and put it in a designated area, whether that be a locker, whether that be in the front of the classroom, in the teacher's desk area, or at the solution we have provided, which is called the cyber stand, which is a designated housing area for the cyber pouches. It has 28 color-coded numbered hooks that can be utilized as a visual identifier of if the pouch is, accessible, if the phone is actually inside of it. And so, one situation could be, the students come into the classroom, phone goes into the pouch goes onto the hook, and they don't retrieve it until the end of the class period. There are some classes at younger ages where they stay in the same classroom for the entire day, but it still allows that accessibility in the event of an emergency. It minimizes the amount of steps that a teacher has to take to get these phones out of the students' hands and then redistribute them at the end of the day, because there's only so many hours in a day and minutes in an hour that a teacher has to work with these students. What we don't want to do is add more time to that with the allocation and distribution of phones, whether it be into a locker or what have you, but we have to find some way to address this issue.
So recently you were, this device was named Best of Show. Can you talk a little bit about how that came about?
Oh, absolutely. We were over at ISTE conference in San Antonio, which was a fantastic time. We had a wonderful experience there, got to build a lot of new incredible relationships in regards to technology and education. And while we were there, we were having an incredible time speaking about the cyber pouch and evangelizing it and really trying to get the word out about this kind of solution. And in that, we ended up being awarded a Best in Show from Tech and Learning. We were incredibly honored to receive that because we think it really speaks to not just the work we've done on this solution, but the need that is present around the country right now, whether it be for parents educators, what have you, to address this problem. And we're just thankful that with the amount of attention that issue is getting, that we have a platform to provide a solution that may be able to help people.
Now, how does the cyber system fit into kind of the overarching strategy of Cellairis? Because you mentioned Cellairis started out as, I'm going to fix your cell phone business, and there were, I guess, kiosks and locations around the world doing just that. How does this kind of offering fit into that world? Do the people in the local locations have the opportunity to sell this into their local school systems, or is this done in a different manner?
So we work with distribution. We work with specific distribution channels to provide access to our cyber system. Specifically, TD Synnex, we have a great relationship with. We do a lot of our, providing of products and solutions for a variety of verticals. As I had mentioned, Cellairis started in retail spaces, has since expanded far beyond that to provide customized solutions to a variety of industries, whether it be healthcare, transportation, education, as we see here. And a lot of those partnerships we've developed over the last 25 years have given us outlets to provide new solutions. For instance, we were notified a little over a year ago of this growing epidemic by one of our partners that is occurring with cell phones, and it immediately was a call to action. And so as we've grown through the enterprise channel over the last, say probably 10 or 15 years, as we've made that transition, it's really important to provide new solutions and not just get stuck in the same pattern. We grow, and as this company has grown with the integration of technology into things like education and just our day-to-day life, it's important to find solutions that, help us regulate and help us navigate without, being overexposed to these things. Cellairis has provided solutions for different restaurants, different customized cases. You'll see our cases in every Chili's in the country based on our relationship with Brinker International. And so we cover a variety of spaces. What we want to do is help provide solutions. And when it comes to mobile devices, and how ingrained they are into our way of life, there's a lot of opportunity to do that. And this is just another step in us trying to, provide that type of, connectivity, even if it involves a little bit of disconnectivity for a little while.
Now, what do you need more of? How can we help you? Are you just trying to kind of educate the public on, hey, there's a solution for this type of handling distractions in the classroom, and cyber systems is one of those solutions? Are you looking to get more partners? What do you need more of?
Yeah, absolutely. I think what's really important for us right now is getting the word out. There is only so much time that districts have to make their decisions on solutions. And there are only so many mouths that we have to speak. And it's really important that we can get the word out about this solution as much as possible, because we think, in a even playing field, our solution stands head and shoulders above all else. We think we provide one that, really appeases the needs of not only educators, but parents and students who demand that type of accessibility in this day and age. What's important for us is just, knowledge of not only this problem, but what solutions are available and the benefits of exploring those. So, the more, eyes we can get on this product, we're always looking for more partnerships, more reseller opportunities. And we would love to speak with folks about it. You can go to mycybersystem.com or email cybersystem@cellairis.com for more information on this solution. We'd be more than happy to talk with anyone about it. It's really exciting. And there really aren't, it's incredible to see just how many people are really, jumping to get on top of this issue. And it's exciting to see when you have a solution that you're able to provide and and ease that pain for folks. It makes selling really easy.
So, John, one more time, the website for My Cyber System is mycybersystem.com, and Cellairis is Cellairis.com.
That is correct. Mycybersystem.com is where you're going to want to go for more information. And then cybersystem@Cellairis.com is where you'll want to email if you want to know more.
Well, John, thank you so much for sharing your story today. You're doing important work, and we appreciate you.
I really appreciate you having me on.
All right, this is Lee Cantor. We'll see you all next time on High Velocity Radio.